Hey guys, King of Charmanders here, aka Q, and today I have my 5-0 of my 5-0 that I did today. Unfortunately, I hate Ultra League. I hope Ultra League is treating you very well. I changed my team 3 times, and I realized there's just no substitute for the spatial duck from Space Jam. Well, actually, I don't know. Yeah, basically, I need Daffy Duck, Jetsons version, in order to compete in this congested meta because it's just so good. And it plays to my strategy, but you will see just how I use the most overpowered thing on pvpoke.com for everything but 2 categories in the Shoutcast. It's been a while since I did this. I hope you guys enjoy it. I've enjoyed analysis, but I also do enjoy doing Shoutcasts of some of my best sets. And this one is pretty dang good. So you want to know anything more about the team, just let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, let's get started and let's get this party started. Let's go, baby. Alright, so we dive straight into the battle. Now, as you see, my team is I like Boba. I have Crest in the lead, followed by Amok and Shadow Swamper. Now, this team works in a very specific way. I use Crest to wall everything, and then I use Amok and Swamp as my safe switches / closers. Now, I start off with Cresselia, as you see here. Hopefully, we get the deboof. I call it the deboof because Bidoof, and you know deboof. You get it? Deboof. I know, it sounds pretty dumb, but yeah, you can get debuffed. So the play here is to fire off all these debuffs, and hopefully we get the debuff. Well, not really fire off the debuffs, fire off the Moonblasts, and we get the debuff! Let's go, baby! Alright, so we get the debuff, and this is huge because now I can tank a lot more charge moves, specifically 2 more body slams, and then I can safely, actually more than 2 body slams over here. I'm gonna keep going for the debuff, so we're gonna keep firing off Moonblasts over and over again, hoping that we grab more debuffs, so that I can fire off more damage and tank more charge moves. Cresselia is such a great lead because even if you lose lead, like I said, the way this team systematically works is I have 2 safe switches. So depending on what my opponent switches onto, I can adapt to any situation and hopefully win that switch and get the mirror and then get advantage back. As you see here, not only do we get the debuff, but we also get a shield off of my opponent. I'm going to let my Crest go at this point. There's no reason to keep it alive. It's done its job. Cresselia goes down. I send in my Swamper to try and farm down this little last bit of energy. Since this Snorlax is debuffed by 1 stage, I can comfortably tank a body slam and have a ton of energy for what comes in next. I have shield advantage and I still have a full Amok in the back. So this is still great for me. We get it for Alligator, which really confuses me because I don't know why you'd be chopping me with those Ice Fangs, if it is Ice Fang. But we do get a switch into this Togekiss. Please don't shield this. Please don't shield this. Please don't shield. Please don't shield. Let's go, baby. Let's go. What's good, my friend? I love it when they do that. I love it when they think it's a Dark Pulse, but it's actually a Sludge Wave, and that does so much damage if it goes through the shields. And as you see there, we have this match in the bag. What's good? You can make me as wet as you want. I still got shields, bro. That's what I love about Amok. Amok has such good utility against its weaknesses, its neutrality. And it can also serve as a great charger, as you're seeing here, because all that's going to happen is these Dark Pulses are going to fly out. We have such a huge advantage over my opponent. I'm gonna attempt to do this sweet, sexy combo of, because now you don't have shields, and now combo breaker, and this is GG's, a very advanced technique where you Q fast moves, you break your opponent's shields, and then you move into the Mon that has energy. In our case here, it was Swampert. So that was a really great match. It really showcased my skills and just how powerful Cresselia is, especially as a lead, like I said. You don't really convincingly lead the win against Snorlax. Snorlax still has plenty of play just because licks do super effective damage. But as you see there, if you do get the debuff at any given point in time, it gives you an enormous advantage over your opponent. Well, not really enormous, but it gives you a lot more scenarios to play with. As you see there, I was able to play my energy scenario perfectly and predict my Cresselia's bulk so that Cresselia can take more charge moves. Now, as you see here, I really do like Boba. The reason why Cresselia is named Dark Cresselia, because Cresselia is my Sith Lord. The lead Sith Lord that uses the Force debuff against my opponents and hopefully debuffs them. And hopefully we get a really sweet lead in this next battle. We get Cresselia against the Poliwrath. This is awesome. These Psycho Cuts will chunk. And I get these Moonblasts off. I can expect my opponent to switch, as you see here, into their own Cresselia. Now, I have energy advantage here, so what I'm hoping to do is get a Moonblast off and get a debuff. Because if you get a debuff after your opponent gets switch locked, it's beautiful. And we get the debuff! This is amazing! Now, I elect to stay in this matchup because my opponent got debuffed, so now I can take more Moonblast. Do I get debuffed? I do get debuffed here. I believe I charge up. I'm just going to keep firing them over and over again. There's no reason for me to switch in this scenario. We got the debuff first, so that means we're ahead. Our opponent's also still switch locked at this point. We get another one. This is beautiful. As you see, we don't get one. But, like I said here, no reason to give up switch. My plan here is to hopefully get a charge move queued up so that I can line up this Cresselia against the Poliwrath. So, we're going to keep firing off these Moonblasts as you see over and over again. We're going to keep trying for the debuff because the debuff would give us a huge advantage. And for some reason, we don't get it with 30% in on 4 shots. But you know what? That's perfectly fine. We're still in the green. Our opponent still has a lot to play catch up with because we debuffed first. As you see here, my opponent attempts to try to debuff me again. It does not work. Now, behold, the most boring mirror of all time. I could try to hype it up as much as I want, but the reality is, all you're going to do is Moonblast each other over and over again. As you see, as painfully as our eyes see, right here. Now, because I debuff first, as you see here, I can tank another Moonblast. So I'm going to tank a Moonblast over here. And then I'm going to attempt, you see I'm tapping on the side. I'm going to switch out into my Amok to try to farm down the rest of this Cresselia. Now, I'm not going to shield this because since my opponent is debuffed, my opponent is not going to do a lot of damage with Moonblast. As you see here, it only takes about 20% of my health, but they do get the debuff, which is absolutely horrible. It's funny how I get the first, but they get the last laugh. So I go with Sludge Wave here. Even though I'm debuffed, as you see, Sludge Wave still does a decent chunk of damage. That's what I want to happen. We still both have 2 shields, so this is an uphill battle. The Dynamic Punch goes off. My poor Amok takes it to the face. And then my opponent, here comes the Ice Punch. I shield here because I don't want to lose all of this energy. I gain so much energy. If they don't shield this Sludge Wave, this is amazing. But my opponent still is up 2 shields. So we'll see what happens here. Do they shield? They do. And I grab a shield and I attempt to combo in. I want that last shield. So I'm going to take out this last shield from my opponent. My opponent uses second shield. Do we get a debuff? We do not. It's okay. So I have a shield. I can take out this Poliwrath. My opponent no longer has any shield. So this is a great scenario. My opponent is also locked in here, so I can get this move. Oh, no, he switches out. Never mind. That switch clock went off last second. So I pray that I get the debuff here. If I get the debuff here, this would be great. There's no way I can switch in, and I do! Let's debuff! Get the boof. Get the boof. This is great because this gives me more play. Because I have to send in my Swampert. Unfortunately, my Swampert's going to have to do a lot of work here. I wait a little bit so my switch clock is up. As you see, my opponent's going to get a charge move off. It's inevitable. And I get into a Focus Blast. However, my opponent's debuffed, so it doesn't do as much damage as I thought. And now here comes the game where I try to salvage energy. As you see here, because of the time we spent with Cresselia on Cresselia action, we have to take out this Registeel. We do. And as you see over here, will I get to the... I will get to the Hydro Cannon. This is beautiful because now... I have an... Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on! I believe I win here because the timer is up. My opponent has 2 really weak mons, and I win because I have a higher HP percentage when the timer goes off. GG's to my opponent. Like I said, the Cresselia versus Cresselia mirror, it takes up so much time that you take like half of the clock, so you're Gucci here. You mad Gooch. You Gucci AF. You don't need to worry about it. Well, you do need to worry about time, but like there, if you manipulate the match right, you'll be able to win. In that case, I still had a lot of play because well, actually, I think timeout was my only way to win because in that scenario, my opponent could have gotten a Dynamic Punch, and unfortunately, my Swampert is not a thick boy. So because my Swampert is not a thick boy, Shadow Swampert, it may have very well died to the Dynamic Punch, and then it would have been GG's for me. But thanks to that timer coming up like you saw there, we were able to manipulate the match just so we could win it all at the very last moment. Here we go into game 3. I get MLP Shukit. And it's, as you see there, hopefully we get the lead. Do we get a lead? We get another Poliwrath in the lead. This is beautiful. Back-to-back Poliwraths. And does my opponent switch out immediately this time? They do not. They do in a little ensuing seconds, but this is beautiful. Oh my gosh, I get a Venusaur. So, this is amazing because Future Child does so much damage. Will you eat the FS? They do eat the FS. This is amazing because I don't have to shield anything. I don't have to shield this. I take out an entire Mon and I get farm with these Psycho Cuts. This is a huge advantage for me. Just gonna Psycho Cut down, Psycho Cut, grab all this sweet energy, and my opponent never gets to a second move. Now we're in really good position now. My opponent sends in a Scizor. I decide to save all this energy here, and the fact that this Scizor has Bullet Punch is great because my Swampert will resist these Bullet Punches, so I will take less damage. We get the opponent's ensuing Night Slashes. I'm going to attempt to bait here because there's still 2 shields in play. We want to get rid of them shields. I'm going to make you really wet. I grab 1 shield, which is beautiful. This is what I want. Now, at this point, I still have shields as well. So, I elect not to shield here just because I know my Swampert will live 1 more shot. And because it's Bullet Punch, like I said, I resist a lot of this. So, I elect to go for the Earthquake for the second time around. My opponent still has a shield, so that's fine. They shield. It's okay. We grab both shields. And we still have a ton of options here. Having 2 shields, having energy on the crest, and I still have a full Amok. In this case, my opponent elects to switch in. I switch in my Cresselia right on time. And the reason why this is right on time is because Ice Punch will not KO my Flying Fortress. And I will be able to get the Future Side off. What's even better is that I can get another move off, and I have 2 shields. So we have great control of this match. My opponent is essentially done. I go for the Moonblast. I can shield this. Yeah, I definitely do shield. I elect to not do the really ballsy play here because, yes, I can farm down with Amok, but that's really risking the biscuit. I elect to farm down here, and then I'm going to just fire a Future Sight at the poor Scizor. The Scizor gets bodied by the Future Sight, and unfortunately, well, actually, he's still alive by a little bit. Oh, man. No, that's fine. Here, I can just eat the Night Slash. It takes me out. And then I still got Swampy in the back. Swampy gonna finish this off. Swampy gonna make you really, really well. Actually, I don't even have Swampy. I have my Amok. And unfortunately for my opponent, Amok has still plenty of HP, so Night Slash does not KO at this range, which is beautiful. Our opponent has now been KO'd. We farm down, and we win the match. GG's. Great lead right there. Had so much play. And at the same time, Cresselia is just such a monster. You can, like I've showed here, there are so many instances where you can Q energy, and then you can fire off. Beautiful strategy, like I said. Cresselia, just so good. At this point, in this time of the season, I kind of had to consider whether or not I was going to run it, or if I was going to continue doing my old game plan. And Cresselia is just so good in any team, in any position, that I had to use it. We get our 4th match here. As you see, we are 3-0, and we get the crest on crest action here. We are about to take 2 minutes of our lives for this matchup, but I will try to make it as entertaining as possible. Unfortunately, what has to happen here is that we must debuff. Hopefully, our opponent, they get the Moonblast first. Do they debuff? They do not debuff. This is beautiful. You do not debuff me. I debuff you. So we get this Moonblast off, and hopefully we get the boof. We do get the boof. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Because whoever gets the boof first has a big lead. Well, not really a big lead, but it gives you so much play. Like early on, you're super confident because you got the boof. We don't get the second one, but that's perfectly fine. Our opponent's already in the yellow, and this Moonblast, because you are debuffed, will not put us in the yellow, and they do not get the debuff. Unfortunately, which is great. We have our opponent debuffed. We are still vibing here. We will get these Moonblasts off like no tomorrow. Do we get another boof? Come on, the boof, the boof, the boof, the boof. We get another one. Let's go, baby. We got 2 debuffs. My opponent has none. And just see how huge of an advantage we have because we debuffed our opponent. They send in the Melmetal. I'll switch in my Swampert on Instinct because now we want to get these Hydro Cannons off and we want to start breaking these shields. Like I said, because we got that huge advantage in the lead, our opponent had to give up switch advantage because they were debuffed twice. Because the debuff happened twice, my opponent didn't want to stay in there anymore because they were going to lose that match even if they did debuff me. My opponent gets a superpower, that's perfectly fine. I elect to shield here. I'm going to shield these superpowers, and I'm going to farm down my opponent and gather all this sweet energy for whatever you have in the back. they do get another move. That's perfectly fine. I elect to not shield here. This superpower won't KO because you are debuffed, which is amazing. My opponent now has gotten debuffed. Now they still have 2 shields, so I have to be careful here. So I elect to fire these hydro cannons because I need to start breaking shields at this point. We do grab a shield. I fire the back-to-back. I want these shields. Even if they do let it go, that's fine. Because we still have 2 full Mons in the back. Well, actually, I have 1 full Mon, but then I still have a lot of play here. I switch into my Cresselia. And because my Cresselia still has plenty of HP in the back, I can eat this Moonblast comfortably. Even if I get debuffed, it's perfectly fine. My opponent switches into their Swampert. And now I'm going to just fire my Moonblast. I'm switch locked in. So I'm going to fire my Moonblast, and I hope I get the debuff. I don't get the debuff, that's fine. Because I got that move off, my opponent is hurting, and now they have to fire their energy here. Or they fire out of fear. They could have farmed down, but no, I would have got another one. I send in my Swampert, and in this range, unfortunately, my opponent's Swampert is going to get KO'd. Because Shadow Swamp does so much damage. That and the ensuing Mudshot will take out my opponent. We got the crest in the back, but it's game over. I got a shield, and I have a full Amok. This is GG's. Perfect combination of debuffing my opponent and just getting those last minute charge move off. In Ultra League, if you get a debuff with Cresselia and you are very good at managing your energy as well as taking damage, like you see here, you will get them W's. So we got that W, baby. We're 4-0. Let's freaking go. We got the W, but like I said, those debuffs are so strong. You get debuffed. You get the boost first, it's going to be a hard time. There's still a way to play around it, but make sure you have plenty of practice if you are really playing the game of getting the boost. Because when you get the boost, like I said, it's not a good time. It's not a great time. For whoever gets the boost anyways. If it worked for you, that's great. If your opponent got it on you first, then you're kind of in trouble. You got to make some decisions. You get the W there. Still kind of celebrating. I'm out here. I'm vibing. I'm going off because I am at a 4-0 right now, and this is absolutely amazing. Like I said, great team. Cresselia serves as a tank. You get those debuffs in the beginning, and you have the possibility of breaking shields. And then you have 2 safe switches. You have a Swampert, and you have a Alolan Muck. Swampert for them steals, and that heavy shadow damage that my Shadow Swampert gets. And these Alolan Mucks. The A-Muck is the truth. Excellent safe switch. Those dunk shots / sludge waves hurts them fairies. And at the same time, these dark pulses take out the Gira A's and them Cresselias. So here we go. We go to match 5. Who is the last person in this queue? We get Monsieur Special. So hopefully we are Monsieur Empirical. I apologize. That's totally the wrong name. We get the mirror action again. So now here we go. We play it like the last game. We pray we get the debuff, and we pray our opponent does not debuff us. So our opponent does get this Moonblast up before we do. Hopefully we don't get debuffed. Do we get debuffed? Do we? Do we? Do we? We do not get debuffed. Oh, thank you. Oh, can I debuff you, please? It's always uncomfortable when you get it first, because whoever gets it first has a huge advantage. We don't get it here. Not really a huge advantage, like I said, I'm mistaken. I'm sorry. I am wrong. You just get a lot of play if you get the debuff first. My opponent now gets the Moonblast first, so I have to worry about them getting the debuff first before I do. So we get the debuff. Do we get the boost? We do not get the boost. 2 times the charm. Not in this time. Not in this battle, my friend. So we get our ensuing Moonblast off, and we don't get a debuff either. So me and my opponent are just not taking them 30% chances right now, boy. I managed to get another one here. I'm not sure if my opponent Psycho Cut it or did an extra Psycho Cut. We fire the third, and do we get the boof? We do not get the boof. Okay, so it looks like we're going to go down to the wire here. Which one of us wants to give up that switch advantage, bro? And because he fired first, he actually has a lot more control over this than I do. Now, I have to fire here, and I have to make a decision. Do I stay or do I go? Or actually, does my opponent stays and does he go? Does he elect to pop a shield? Do we get the shield? We get a shield. Do we get the debuff? We get the boof! This is huge because even though it's late, getting that debuff means we take away some attack and we're able to tank another move. Just see how we're able to tank that Moonblast. But unfortunately, we don't get to our Moonblast. This is bad. I was hoping to get that last Moonblast in. Unfortunately, I don't have the best IVs in the world with my Cresselia. I elect to send in Alolan Muck because what's going to happen here is I am just going to try and snarl him down and have all this sweet science energy for whatever is in the back. So, like I said here, with that debuff happening, we can comfortably take multiple charge moves. We got the debuff, and thankfully our opponent doesn't get it on us, even though they fired twice. So we took down our opponent. We have a ton of loaded energy. And then my opponent switches into Scizor. So we got the Scizor. So then my opponent is going to just fire off these Night Slashes like no tomorrow. So we have to be very careful here. These Night Slashes do well. Please don't get the boost. If they get the boost, it's going to be bad. And this time around, unlike our previous opponents, he is not running that Bullet Punch. He is running the Fury Cutter. Because of this, I have to be very aware of my Shadow Swampert HP. And we are just going to get these Night Slashes over and over again. My response will be to make you incredibly wet with these Hydro Blasts. So, I'm going to keep blasting. I keep blasting. We blast, we blast, we blast. I farm down. My opponent doesn't get to another charge move. And this is amazing. I got loaded energy. And we were able to farm that Scizor down. This is amazing. We get the flat. I get the Hydro Cannon off. And my opponent has the Charizard in the back. This is GG's. I have so much energy here. My opponent's Charizard will get yeeted by the one-shot Hydro Cannon. Unfortunately, they tried their best. They did their best. And unfortunately, it was not enough because we got the Charizard in the back. That was a great set of 5. Like I said, really showcase how Cresselia is so good with Moonblast. And just how great you can run around your run around enemies' teams. And have so much play when the buff does land and your opponent does not get the land. But like I said, I described this team's comp right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And the more likes I got in this video, the more motivated I am to make another Shoutcast. Please sub and like I said again, and I will see you guys next time on the next PvP Shoutcast.